Hey, all right. We are here. This is Membership Unplugged. I'm Todd Shepard, and I'm here with my co-host, Patrick Longano. How are you, Patrick?
Doing fine, Todd. How are you, buddy?
Oh, man, I had a great time just back from Pacific Northwest President-elect Learning Center seminars, PELS. I got a little bit of a raspy voice because we had such a great time, and you were there.
Yes, I was there. Pacific Northwest Pets to me is like, or Pels, sorry, is like one of the premier out there. They just put on such a good show, and the curriculum is just second to none. And I was able to present to them, as you know, and what's it called? We had a blast. It was fun, man.
I'm sure people will see if they follow our Facebook pages, they'll see plenty of photos and everything. And what a great time! It seemed like the president-elects had a good time and
Yeah, oh,
had
yeah.
some good training. And I thought we had a really good class of 2026. I think Rotary's in for some really positive stuff with these presidents.
You know, for a long time, I heard, can we do this? Are we allowed to do these things? Well, I don't care if it was just with companion clubs or it was with everything. No, 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 no. The rule book says this. And I'm okay with rules. Well, no, I'm not okay
You're
with
not
rules. I'm a
okay
rule
with rules.
breaker, but
Come
yeah. Yeah,
on.
sorry about that. But no, I mean, you have to have structure and that's fine. But this class here that I've been seeing, this class is that first president-elect's class that's like their yes class. Yes to this. Yes to this new idea. Yes to that. Yes, why don't we change this? Yes, 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 yes. I mean, I saw so much of that out there that I was like, I had several of them like, you gave us permission. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but yes, go. I mean, it
Isn't
doesn't.
that fun?
I think
And
what I
it's
said from the stage when somebody said something, I said, they're gonna blame me anyway, so it doesn't matter. So that's fine. But no, they're the group of yes, and I think, like you said, this is you can kind of feel the momentum.
Well, I think there was some innovation. So we talked about, companion clubs and satellite clubs, and of course those have been around for a while. It's just we're really starting to talk about them and saying, hey, maybe I could put one in my club. And rather than just that one satellite club in the district, I'm starting to hear a lot of them coming up to me and like, hey, I'm really interested. I think we should do this in our clubs. We're getting more and more presidents seem to be interested in innovating new ideas to
Hmm.
bring in members or to give them pathways to membership. And then other innovations. We had a new course that was in PELS that I got the pleasure of facilitating. It's called AI and Rotary. And
Hmm.
although I mean I can't say it was evenly split. Most of people were new to it completely, which was
Oh yeah.
great. There were a few of them that are really using it in their workplace and everything. A couple of class attendees said that their AI is their BFF, and we jokingly joked about that. I
Nice.
said the benefit of having a boyfriend that's AI is it's got an off button, so I
Yeah,
think
you
she
just
seemed to like
turn that
that.
thing off. Yeah,
But
no, we
it's neat to see that innovation because when we start using tools to make the clubs better, tools to communicate with the clubs, things that are available at our fingertips, this is a new generation of presidents, and it could be a new generation of Rotary.
well, one of the things that I was thinking about too that I found really interesting, and I think you and I had touched on this. You know, whenever I talk, I'll ask a couple of questions. I want to see raised hands. I want to see people
Mhm.
participating. I don't want to throw PowerPoints up. I'm not saying PowerPoints are bad, any speakers out there. I'm just saying I'm a little bit different on that. So I started going down the road on, what exactly do we know? And when I started getting up into do you know who your zone director is? Do you know what your zone is? Do you know how many zones are in thing? I really realized that that kind of stuff never filters its way down to the presidents and the people in the club, that they really don't know that bigger picture. I was talking with our friend Andy from Zone 8 this morning, had called
In
me.
Australia.
Yeah, yeah, just brilliant guy. And I told him of that analogy that we were talking about, the person that we all want more 20-year-olds in our clubs. Oh, great. And the average age of a Rotarian is 70. Fantastic. What are you going to do with that 20-year-old for the next 50 years? Expect him to come and have the same experience every Tuesday at 12 o'clock for the next 50 years. And they're never going to be able to, they're never going to have hard times in their life. They're never going to have a kid in middle school and a kid in elementary school and one that's playing soccer up at the high school. They're never going to go through those peaks and valleys if you do not design and have a membership ecosystem allows the people, the 20-year-olds that are going to serve for 50 years, a way to move within Rotary at any peak and valley of their life. If they can't have that individual engagement plan for them, then you're going to continue to see the same attrition level. We got to go from a single point entry to a true ecosystem. And that's what I think that education, knowing where we are, you got to know where you are
Yeah.
to get to to be able to launch off of. And I think these people understand it. And I was really, really happy with the attendees and what they learned and how much they made fun of you was
Oh yeah, here it comes.
absolutely. I mean, you were high rated deal, but I was sitting, I don't know if I told you this is awesome. So I'm like a couple of rows back, you know how you go down the hallways and you've got like little groups that are in front and stuff. And I know the room that I'm gonna go in and the doors are open. So there's maybe three or four ladies and they get up and I'm like three or four groups back, but I see them and they turn so that they see the room for the first time. And one lady looks at the other, and I hear him as we're starting to get closer. She goes, "Jake from State Farm's our teacher." It was awesome. I turned around and went back. It's all I needed to hear
For our
at
for
that
our
point.
listeners, my friend Patrick was giving a presentation up on the big stage and needed a little bit of help and said, "Oh, can you bring a whiteboard up for me?" So I found a whiteboard and hey, I make no guarantees. I'm not a whiteboard specialist. In fact, I'm left-handed, so I hate whiteboards because my hand drags across them, so I don't use them at all. I'm more of a PowerPoint guy. So I take this whiteboard up and I set it up on stage. And in the process, well, apparently Patrick seemed to think that my attire, I was wearing a pair of khaki Dockers and kind of, I don't know, a sweater that was more red colored. And apparently he thought that looked a little bit like a State Farm agent or something and took
And he's
advantage of
wearing
that.
khakis. Looks like some
Yeah.
State Farm agent. It was
So the
awesome.
whole rest of the weekend, that was my new nickname. So that's okay. I got picked on. The good news is, if there's any insurance agents out there, I've got about half a dozen policies ready to go. If you want to,
That's
I've
awesome.
I've already done reviews of their home and auto, and we're good to go to move forward on the best rates. So.
That's awesome, man. Oh, that was something we had fun, didn't we, man?
Oh, it was a great time. So I had every year at President-elect's Learning Seminar, they have a breakout first thing in the morning on Friday. This is where the districts get together and they present to their clubs, the different district leadership. And I get an opportunity to talk, and I put a little presentation together for my clubs, and I thought I might like to share a little bit of it here, of what it is. And what I call it is how to lose a Rotary member in 10 days. So that's what I call it. So I'm going to go through these 10 things real quick
This is
and
hysterical. I love this. I love
yeah,
this.
how to lose a Rotary member in 10 days. Let's see, I'm going to pull it up for my own use. You can still see me, can't you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so number one, the binder ceremony, day one. You want to make sure you hand members a packet of paper or booklets and tell them that they need to read through this stuff. There's no reason to actually sit down or explain anything when you can give them a full stack of papers, right? And nothing says, "Welcome to Rotary," like documents and papers that nobody's looked at since before this new member was even born.
This is how they hand it to you too. And then they
Yeah,
want to induct you and give you a pin. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
read through this, go through it, and it's different because I've looked at some of the packets that are handed out at clubs, and one recently I looked at it and it was completely outdated. It didn't really have an accurate website. It talked about things they weren't doing and just outdated. So I was able to make some suggestions to get it changed. If you're giving out packet of stuff to your members, probably not a bad idea to at least review it or have someone read it, because chances are if it's not been updated in the last 10 years, it's out of date. All right.
Also, when they give them that packet, the speech that they read to induct them is usually about 50 or 60 years old.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They say, hear ye, right? Hear ye,
Yeah.
whatever.
Hear ye, hear ye.
It sounds like you're introducing Puxatawny Phil. Hear ye, we hear at the. All right. How
Oh
about this
man.
next one? Adhere to strict meeting times. If you want to lose a member in 10 days, make sure that you don't have Zoom options. Make sure that you say that you have to meet. And if they're late, this is the best part about Rotary, is if they're late, call them out in front of everybody. And even better, maybe you could fine them for being late.
Oh, I think that yeah, if you want to lose somebody, keep doing that, or say, or when somebody has missed a meeting or two, when they walk in, definitely say, "Oh my gosh, we thought you were dead."
Oh yeah, make a big deal of it.
Make a
And
huge deal that they haven't been there.
and you need to, and if they say, "Oh, it's hard for me, I'm struggling a little bit," whether it be, for time frame or anything, remind
Yeah,
them that Rotary is about sacrifice, mostly theirs.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there. All right. How about this one?
You're pretty spot on
Weaponize
there, Bubba. You're pretty
what?
spot on so far.
How about weaponized committees right off the get-go? I mean, don't ask them what they like or what they're good at. Just you need a body in a certain committee. That's the one you need to put them on,
Yeah,
because surprise is part of the Rotary experience.
we've lost the we've lost some people on the committee to clean up the river by the nuclear power plant, pulling out tires and these glowing rods. So we have assigned you to that committee.
Yes, absolutely. This is first. You're the new downwinder committee.
The downwinder.
So that we find that's always good on the okay, how about day 4? I love day 4 is what I like to call acronym overload. Now, you know my aversion to acronym. PELS,
Yes.
AG, DGE, DACDB, RILA, TRF, Zone 50, 50, 60, 50, 70, whatever. Whenever you can say acronyms quickly, uh, that's important, and because it's important that you let your members leave. Like if they can leave on a Tuesday morning after a Rotary meeting completely confused, that's a good sign, isn't it?
You I mean, I really think it is. It's a yeah. I've started finding myself
Yes,
using
for
acronyms.
using acronym.
Yeah.
Here's a little funny, a little curious thing, but for the past 4 years, I've tried a fun little experiment.
Okay.
Not only at my district, also when I'm talking as a learning leader at PELS in the classes. And I will ask during the class, I always try to find a way to bring up acronyms no matter what I'm leading. Uh, and I'll ask them if they know what PELS means. Now, here's a good question. Hey,
Okay.
who can raise your hand if you know what PELS means? And several hands go up, not all of them,
Mm-hmm.
maybe half. And I say, now, here's the deal. If I call on somebody, one of you, if you know 100% what all 4 letters mean, then leave your hand up. Otherwise, it's okay. Put your hand down. Always a few hands go down. Now, I've done this for years.
Mm-hmm.
It's uncanny the amount of people that don't know. what PELs mean. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying the only reason that they don't know is someone hasn't taken the time to tell them. And they registered for it, and they told their clubs, "Hey, we're going to PELS, this weekend." So they said that. They all referred to it. They signed up for it, and they took PELS pre-PELS classes. The thing is, though, for some reason, they didn't really know what it, and I think it is very common that they were probably sitting in any room thinking, I'm the only one that doesn't know what PELs mean, and I'll be darned if I'm going to ask in front of everybody and be ridiculed. So by bringing this out, I have an opportunity to see that about 60+% didn't know what it meant. And I think they were happy that I was able to tell them, bring up what it meant anyway, and let them know that that's how your members feel. They feel like they're the only person in the room that doesn't know what these acronyms mean. All right, you'll
Well,
like this one.
they
Oh,
feel, yeah, they feel like they're the only people in the room that don't know what, that, like you said, don't know what it means. You know
yeah,
what I
so they
mean?
don't say anything.
Yep.
I'm not going to ask. If I ask, they're just going to tell me, is there something wrong with you? Are you weird? So,
It's crazy, man.
so now day 5 and 6, I like to mix in together because it's so important. You want to kill their ideas,
Okay.
and you want to do it by saying things like, "Hey, we tried that once and it didn't work." So when someone brings them, now tell me, how many times have you dealt with that? We do what's called a step 2 within the club creation app. And when a club's trying to start a companion club or a satellite club, step 2 involves bringing the naysayers in from the club and dealing with their objections. So, have you seen that where people just shut things down?
All day long. I mean, every single time, and they weaponize tradition. They weaponize um, nostalgia. I think Louisa Horn had a great comment on that up at Pacific Northwest Pell, something about that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but people will use that as a deflector. So, if they come up with a really good idea, you always hear, well, we've always done it this way, so we shouldn't change, or you're going a little too fast, for us. They'll use the traditions of the club to stymie innovation. And here's all the permission you need if you're an innovator. Um, Not a sneeze, excuse me. Um, they're just deflecting when they say that. They really
Yeah.
are. So when they have it, say, I understand we have these wonderful traditions, and that's why I joined the club. But it doesn't mean that we can't have something in addition to those things. And I'd like to explore that. Would you like to help me? I mean, those are a lot of things, but I see that all the time, weaponizing of traditions.
Especially when you have a new person that comes in and
Yeah.
they start with all their wild old ideas. So if you want them to leave or leave you alone or quit bringing their crazy, silly new ideas into your club, then make sure you tell them we've tried that before and it
Oh
didn't
yeah.
work. And it doesn't matter if it's even relevant to the comment they made. The same comment works every time.
Mm.
All right, so let's talk about bringing it into the final slow fade. Day 7, make belonging conditional. Let them know that they're welcome to be here eventually. And part of this is making sure that you protect your seat in the room. If you're sitting in the back table, don't let the newbies back there. The newbies are probably better off to sit up front or somewhere by themselves, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you, I was just with somebody this weekend who told me when they got into Rotary about 3.5 years ago, they one of the first ones there, so they got their plate, went sat down at a table, and a gentleman came, sat down, put his thing in, and didn't even look at him and said, "I don't know who you are, but that's so and so seat."
Oh my goodness.
So he said, "So should I move? He said, I would suggest it. I was like, holy cow. So yeah, that's a way to lose a member really fast.
What a way to say you're welcome. Like,
You're welcome
you
here. Come
know,
on. Yeah. It's
belonging
free.
delayed is belonging denied. So it's always good to encourage members to sit. Hey, you know what? I like to bounce around myself within the club, and I
I
don't sit
love
at the
it.
same place. I think it's good for everybody. And when you see a new person, just grab them and have them sit with you. Invite them and ask them why they're here. So the next thing, uh, that you'll like this. In order to encourage to lose someone in 10 days, you need to practice gentle guilt. Guilt. If someone misses a meeting or can't attend a project or something, how do you practice guilt? You say, like in my day, back when we first were, or back when I was first in Rotary, we couldn't miss one. Don't you make them feel guilty?
Yes, absolutely. Why not?
It's so important. So I was thinking that if you're not comfortable being a guilt giver, sometimes some people aren't very good at guilt. I was thinking there's a real good way to do that, and you could do that through teasing. Like when you tease someone, especially publicly, we touched on this earlier.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Teasing is that's like guilt with a smile. Right? It's still guilt, but it's using a smile to get there. It's a really powerful way to do it. And
Wow.
and if anyone tries to call you out on it, you can say what? I was just teasing.
I'm
Oh,
just
we're
teasing.
just having fun. It's a great way. It's an easy way for someone that's maybe not great at guilt. So if you have someone new in the club that you're trying to teach how to guilt somebody to get them to leave in 10 days, this is a good way to get someone started on the guilt track is teach them the teasing first.
Wow.
What do you think of that?
Um, I don't like teasing.
Well, then you're not going to be good at the guilt part. So
I'm not good at the go part. Because I think that you said the correct word there. You said subtle. And
gentle, yes.
I think over time it wears on people.
No
You
matter
know,
what it
not a
wears
lot
on
of
people.
people are like the guy I was just talking about where they're overtly rude. Okay, not a lot of people are like that. It's the subtle teasing. And I have a problem
Or the
personally.
mean girling.
Yeah, well, I have a problem personally with it. That I used to hear all the time, Todd. I'm dead serious. This is just a little thing for me. I mean, I used to hear, "Oh, Longano's here," you know, and I'd laugh. I'd be like, I'd laugh
Yeah.
right along with it. And recently, I've been looking at people just, they do that, and I'm like, yeah, that's getting old because I know what I do for Rotary. I know what I do for my club. I know what I do for the district and for Rotary in general, and I allowed it. So if you are getting those little subtle teasing sometimes, standing up and just going, you know what, I take that, and I've taken that before in the past, and let's go ahead and shut that down. But I've experienced it, and it's not that. I think that's the worst cut of them all, is what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
oh, I
You know
know,
what I
I
mean?
know what you're saying. It's surprising how many times people will be cut down and it's just and sometimes it's a habit and they may not even really mean something. They just
Yeah.
think that that's how they want to communicate. So,
Wow.
um,
That's
when
tough. These are tough things to navigate. But like you said, how to lose a member in 10 days, that's these things that you brought up are
well, day
real.
number 9, here's another good one. Lead with money, not with purpose. Talk about money early. Never clearly connect it to any impact. Just tell them they got to pay $25. That's what
No,
we
I mean,
need.
how about you just
It's
include it in
expected.
our, I got you better. Just include it in on their due statement
Oh,
without
like
even
an
telling them.
invoice?
Oh yeah. I found out by invoice in my first club. I was like, I opened the thing up and I was like, holy cow. I mean, it was like sticker shock, like in the business we used to be. And I was like, what? They told me it was this. Did I hear wrong? I even went back and looked at my email and went, no, I didn't hear wrong. And I went in there and I said, "What, can I speak to you about this?" And it was almost like I was being annoying, and which is not hard from, and it was like, "Oh no, we bill for this and we put this in there and we add this and we add this to it. You know,
Wow.
we add your donations to the thing." And you're like, "So you've already predetermined what I'm going to donate." Yeah, but that is a very quick way. That actually, I believe, and I know you're going to say, well, there's some Rotary surveys out there that don't include this, but I'm going to absolutely tell you that I don't believe that. If the money thing isn't one of the top five things why people leave, I don't know what is, but doing it like that, harping on it, assuming it,
Yep.
just billing for it, you will lose people, buddy. End
Well,
of
you need to
story.
take some time to explain, like the Rotary Foundation. That's a whole segment of visiting
Yeah.
with someone to explain these are the benefits of it. And once a person sees the benefits of it and they understand that, well, then they can make their own, justified decision. But like, well, let's agree with this. Nothing builds loyalty like an invoice with no inspiration, right?
Wow. Yes. That's a good saying there, Todd. I
What
like
do you
that.
think about that?
Yeah, remember in the car business though, we were in well, I mean you were in a different portion of that, but you when you're working on a as a salesperson, when you were selling the car, you sold the car, and then the finance person talked to him.
Yeah.
There was nothing worse than having a finance person that couldn't explain what extended warranty was or couldn't explain what this was. And so they assumed it on your sale, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
That's the same thing that happens when Rotary. I'm gonna talk with somebody. I'm gonna tell them how absolutely wonderful being a Rotary in the community is, and this is what it costs to join. And then after they're in and working on it, then we need to go and talk to them about the foundation and tell them how wonderful it is and that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. But it should be two separate things instead of just assume. So invoicing, like you were saying, billing by, the invoicing, yeah, that you'll lose somebody quick, like in a hurry on that. I've seen it happen
And
more times
strong
than
arming them, encouraging people to donate is always a better route. So
yes.
once we get to day 10, we'll wrap this up. This
All
is
right.
on exit day, right?
Yeah.
It's important. And it's best if you can have at least the board members and club leadership, if not everybody, needs
Mm-hmm.
to act extremely shocked. Let's see your shocked face, Patrick. This person said they're leaving. What?
What?
How can that be?
Oh
And now it's important to flip it around here and, first of all, justify that you've done everything right. We did everything right,
no.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then let's start talking about it's their problem.
Yep.
Must be generational. People don't volunteer anymore, right?
We knew she wouldn't work out or he
No,
wouldn't
it's the
work
culture in
out.
today's
Oh
world,
man,
right?
can't keep
So you
up with
want to
it.
go down there, down that path, or and say that those people, or maybe you can blame if you want to. You might try to blame the sponsor. He didn't help. He didn't do a good job, right? No
Yeah.
one told her that
Or
kind of stuff.
I've heard this a lot. I've heard that she's going through some bad times right now.
Of course. So we
People
can
want to make
knock
a,
the
yeah,
person down
yeah.
and make sure that we try to protect our interests. Now, here's the deal. If this keeps happening, right? So I understand if it happens one time, maybe it is that person, right? We all get a dud once in a while. If it happens on a regular basis, if it happens twice, then three times, when these people just don't last, where do you think it really comes from?
It's club culture, man. It's the board,
Right.
the
It's club
leadership of the
culture.
club,
And who's the leader of that?
the president.
The president. And one of the things we talked about with the president-elects is it's their responsibility to set that culture and to have the courage that it takes to say, I'm setting the culture. Too many times they get the president in, and then it's like, okay, you're president, but you can't do this. You can't do everything. Yeah, and I'm here to tell you, we're going to say it right now, live on Membership Unplugged, that the president of the club has the authority to run the club culture any way he or they or she chooses.
I agree. I
Okay?
agree with that. Yeah.
They get to take that path. And it doesn't matter if the people in the back table don't like it, right? The people that you know the back table, we've talked about them before,
Oh
or the
yeah.
people that have been there forever, or if we've never done it that way. So there you go. Hopefully you have
I
people
agree.
there.
I really do agree with that. I think that the way to change club culture is to have people that are coming in and say, "Hey, listen, we're going to follow this lead for a while. This is what we're going to do. This is why it matters, and everything else is secondary." I mean, it's just I want to explain to people why things matter. Well, club culture is important, and we're going to be positive energy, and we're going to
Yeah.
go out and do the work, and we're going to have a great time. Everything else that's out there, all the little chatter and the all that stuff, that's secondary, you know. So yeah, that's a good. I mean, Todd, that's a really good list, man. I didn't have the opportunity to come in and see your program, but that's a good list, brother.
Yeah, we finished it off by the other half we put in, and we don't have time to go through it here on the show. But we went through and say, okay, here's how we turn it around if a president
Hmm.
turns it around, and these are the things you can do. But we kind of covered that here, kind of a little fun satire grouping. So guess what,
Oh,
Patrick? We're down to
yeah.
the end, and we're also down to the end of something else.
Oh
We have
no.
just completed season 2 of Membership Unplugged. Can you believe it? Season
Woo!
2. Thanks for sticking with us, folks. So here's what happens next week. So we're gonna have this one tonight. Next week on Tuesday, we're not gonna have a podcast.
Okay.
We're gonna have a break, and we're going to post there a link where you can go back and get caught up on all of our 2 seasons of Membership Unplugged. We've had so many great conversations, and
Mm-hmm.
we've also had a lot of great visitors on, right? Guests.
Mm-hmm.
We've had let's see, who do we have? Scott Learned. We had
Stephanie Urchek, Brian Hall. We
yeah,
had Laura Carey and Michelle and Chris. Yeah, we had a lot of good folks,
we've
man.
had a lot of on there. And then we also had I think Larry Lunsford peaked on there for a bit, and Marty
That
was
was fun.
there on a little bit of a little clip. So we've had a lot over the last 2 seasons that we've been doing. And well, what we're going to do is we're going to have a break next week. We will post the link to where you can go get caught up on that. These I think are you could even play these for members or learning as membership. Uh, I think good little lessons. We've had some good conversations that
What are we
if
going to be back with?
well, we just came back from spending a lot of time with a lot of people, and we had several interested to joining us. So we got to work out that schedule. So our hopes are in 2 weeks we'll be back with another fresh episode to drop with some new guests and even more information on Membership Unplugged Tuesdays on the North America Club Creation Team Facebook page and on our YouTube channel at Impact Studios, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We will see you then.